Hi everybody and welcome back. We are doing a video today on freezer meal prep.
The moment you felt you could start over new was the same that you realized the stories were true. You opened your eyes and the world you could see wasn't dim, it was brighter, you'd have to agree. Oh, now your fears are gone, they were buried with the dawn. And oh, now you feel alive for the very first time. Oh, now your fears are gone, they were buried with the dawn. And oh, now you feel alive for the first time. Not hold me yet, not hold me yet. No, you're not home yet. No, not home, but you finally found the way.
I'm walking you through the process of the things that I'm doing, did, etc. for meal prep for freezer meals for the baby. Now I am exclusively doing dinners. I'm not doing any like lunch things or breakfast things just because I am confident that we can figure out breakfast for a couple of weeks. But I have about 2 weeks worth of dinners planned. So I'll get there. But essentially what I did was, to start out in the planning phase, I went into Pinterest and just like looked at a bunch of freezer meal suggestions, looked at what their meals were, decided what I wanted, and I think I picked like 8. Couple of soups, couple of chicken, couple of pork, couple of beef, that kind of process. So I had variety, things that sounded good, and things that I knew that would be easy. Obviously, if they're a freezer meal prep like article, if that makes sense, their aim is to be easy, but I also wanted the cooking part to just be like, oh, dump it in the crock pot or put it in a soup pot or whatever, put it in the oven. Easy enough to not have to like take it out and thaw it and do this and then add some broth and then do this and then do that and then the other thing and then it's ready to go. Because that's still not the ideal. So I found a few meals that it sounded good. Then I went through and I looked at all of the items and wrote down all of the ingredients that I needed, compiled it into a list. After that, I went to the grocery store, which we just did tonight, and bought everything. I think I'm 3 items short that I have to go to a different grocery store to find, but everything else they had, and it was good prices for everything. So I think we probably spent like $100. However, this is like 2 weeks worth of meals. Normally we spend $100 a week on meals. Granted, some of the meat that we're going to be using we have in our freezer already, but regardless of whether or not I made the freezer meals, if I made that specific meal, it would be in our freezer already, if that makes sense. So there was some meat that I wasn't going to be buying regardless, and there are a few more things that I do have to purchase yet. But other than that, went out and purchased everything. Now, it is Tuesday, and I am making everything on Friday. My fridge is very, very small, and I had to buy my regular groceries. So I put the fridge items into like one area in the fridge to store them where they would stay the coolest, also out of the way, and grouped together. But so that I had space for all of my other stuff in the fridge, which, let me tell you, was not an easy time. My husband had to help me because I couldn't do it. Then what I did was pre-portion all of the meat into their respective bags and put them into the freezer. Now, it probably all would have kept long enough in the fridge, but some of it was going to be frozen anyway, and some of it was going to be cooked, depending upon the meal and what, like, the recipe called for. But things like chicken, when they're in that container that they come in, like the big plastic containers with the paper on the bottom or whatever, they get stuck. You can't take them apart frozen. You have to do it when it's been thawed or raw before you put it into the freezer. So I had my husband just portion like 2 chicken breasts into each bag. And then I'm going to cut and cook them as appropriate when I go to prep them on Friday. As for like ground beef, they're in like 1 pound packages, most of the ones that I bought. So those ones we just put directly into the freezer, but I did buy a container with 2 pounds in it that I had him split. Again, that way we didn't have to cut anything that was frozen, wait for it to thaw, just to refreeze it, any of that kind of stuff, so that the day went easy. Granted, I had to think all of that through, which really took a lot of time. But I'm also using some frozen like a mix of frozen vegetables and some canned foods as well. Like, there's a mix. So then I just piled everything that was going to go into the freezer in a bag and had him take it out and put it out there. Granted, it was a reusable bag. In hindsight, I should have put it all into a plastic bag together, so I could have just brought that bag in, but I know for the future what I want to do. Then I sorted all the pantry items that I'm going to use into a different basket kind of thing, brought it downstairs where my other pantry items are, but kept it all in that basket so that I can just bring that basket upstairs with me on Friday when I'm going to portion everything and cook everything and all of that good stuff. So I have one spot in the fridge that I know I need to grab everything off that shelf. I have one spot in the freezer where I'm going to grab everything, and one bag from my basement with all my pantry stuff that I'm going to grab. Now, you have to do what is best for you, but that is just what works best for me based on how my house is set up and how my pantries are set up and all of that kind of stuff. All of the stuff for the week that I'm using are in their appropriate places for the week as I would normally prepare my meals. Now that we are fully prepped, all we have to do is make the meals. Now, one thing that I am going to do before Friday comes, and I don't know when I'm going to do it exactly, but I'm going to read through each recipe for each item a little bit more in depth. Because some of them do require cooking, as I said, whereas other ones, it's just put all of the stuff in the bag and then you just dump it all back in the crock pot when the time comes. Either way, I'm going to read through the recipes to make sure that I don't skip steps, even if I don't remember all of the recipe on Friday when I start things. Obviously, when I'm going through and preparing each item, I can kind of make a mental checklist of, I know this recipe said something about X, Y, and Z. I want to double check that, or read more carefully, or what have you, so that no mistakes are made and nothing is made wrong, so that these freezer meals don't turn into disaster meals, because that's really what I want to avoid. Additionally, I will know what needs to be cooked, what doesn't need to be cooked, etc., so I can kind of make a plan for the timeline of the day. Creating that timeline is more or less not that important to me. Other people who are trying to get stuff done or doing this with others, that might be important to them, but for me, it's really not important to me, because as far as I know, I'm doing it by myself. Starting during the day when my husband is not home with my son. So I'm going to be back and forth, and it's going to be all over the place anyway. Basically, I just need to know what needs to be cooked, how long that kind of stuff is going to take, and how much attention it's going to take. Because if I can fit all of it, like the whole meal prep, everything, into nap time, that would be great. There's no guaranteed nap time, and there's no guaranteed length for nap time at this point in our lives. So I need to make sure that the cooking part, if I can do that during nap time, that gets done during nap time, just because it's so much easier and safer to do that when he's sleeping rather than try and do it while he's awake, because Gabriel has a tendency to come and sit on my feet, push my legs, grab stuff off the countertops, or just put his hands on the countertops, which is obviously not safe around an oven. We're still working on that. And if anything has to go into the oven for like a pre-bake or anything like that, it's just easier to not have to be looking where he is while also trying to put something into the oven so I don't accidentally burn myself trying to keep him safe. That kind of stuff. So I'll be going through and then basically just making the plan of what needs to happen during nap time, what can happen during nap time, can I do it all in this time frame. For you, if you choose to do something similar, I would say, if you need a plan or this is what we're going to do first, second, third, fourth, whatever, obviously don't skip this planning stage. If it does not matter to you, you don't have kids yet, you probably don't need this planning stage as much unless you're in a time crunch. But if you have the whole day and you don't mind things kind of being a little bit chaotic, you could probably skip this step. That's totally and entirely up to you and how you like to run and how you like to cook. But for me, I need just enough to make sure things run fine, but I'm not going to put that much effort into it. It'll probably be like a 5-minute task in total. So that's the only prep step that I have left. Next is just cooking everything and getting it into bags. So here we go. Okay, we've got some meat prepped out. We're gonna get started on freezer meals today. You ready, dude? Okay. I have yet to put up my hair and to do my advent calendar, but I have a knee and it's making my stomach itch. We're ready. Honey Dijon pork chops are done. Now this one does call for a half a cup of chicken broth. Since it wasn't that much, I dumped it in. I will probably add more when I make this. I did forget to mark the bag, but we'll get there. It's fine. It's time for candle number 2. Da 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 da. And today's candle is, it's like a dark color, caramel and ginger cookie. Ooh. There we go. I got 2 boxes now. Isn't that so beautiful? I'm so excited. Oh, actually that smells way better than I thought it was going to. That's actually really good. I am pleasantly surprised. I didn't expect to enjoy the smell of that nearly as much as I do. I think the caramel and the ginger, usually ginger in a candle is too much for me. But I think the caramel and the ginger really do it. I like it. So, that is day 2 of the Christmas Advent Calendar. We finished all of the meal preps today, except I didn't get to my granola balls, so I will be making those tomorrow. And I have to freeze some bananas, so I'm going to be doing that tomorrow too. My son was really clingy this afternoon, so we only got 3 meals done in the afternoon. And then I finished the other, 6. This evening. My mom was going to help and, come over to help, but Gabriel really wanted to go somewhere. So I was like, if you just want to pick him up, take him for an hour or 2, that'd be great. In that hour or 2, we were able to finish everything. And the last 2 that I have inside right now, because they're cooling, are chicken broccoli rice and shepherd's pie. But yeah. All right, 3rd day of the Advent Calendar. I may have located this prior to actually filming. It's fine. Oh, it's backwards. Put my little box up. And we got winter, pine, and eucalyptus. This sounds like it's going to smell amazing, but first I just gotta show you how it looks in the box because it's so cute. It's so cute. I'm fine, it's fine. It smells so good. Here, smell this. Ooh. Yeah! I like it a lot. It's fine. Alright. So far, 3 scents I didn't even think I would like, and I like all of them. At this point, the Advent Calendar is a success. Very excited. Hello, brilliant people. I had a baby, and so I missed some days of my Advent Calendar. We've got, it's the 8th today, so we've got to open number 4 through 8. Number 4 is Hot Toddy, which I know is an alcoholic drink. It's actually not bad. Didn't think I was going to like it. I associate that with being spicier, if that makes sense. I liked it. Arm is tired. My baby is sleeping and my baby is sleeping, so my husband's upstairs. Number 5 is spiced orange. I don't love it. I don't hate it. It's interesting. So birth was a lot. We'll talk about it later, but my arm hurts, so I'm putting this down. So we did 5 with spiced orange. Number 6. Start a new row with my weak arms. Cherry amaretto. Oh, that smells pretty good. I'm not gonna lie. That's pretty good. Number 7. Eggnog. I don't care for this one, but I don't like eggnog in general, so that doesn't surprise me that much. finally, today is number 8, an old fashioned. This actually smells really good. Not quite my vibe, but still really good. That is all the days caught up. I gotta go upstairs and check on my baby, but those are all the boxes up there, all the candles we've opened so far. It's looking very pretty. We're gonna close this up for tonight, and we'll see it again tomorrow. All right, we've got 3 today, 9, 10, and 11. We're almost halfway done, and I'm sad, but like, it's going so fast. All right, eucalyptus, let me just, oh yeah, all right, Pretty traditional scent, I feel like, not like super Christmassy or anything, but still like a solid scent, you know? Okay, number 10. What do we got? Oh, snowdrops. Oh, let me smell this one. Huh. It's like a fresh, almost like a clean linen kind of smell. There we go. Put this box up. And finally, number 11, which looks like it's a purpley bluey color. Yeah, blue for sure. Firewood. Look at that. This one got stuck on a little poorly, but I mean, things happen, and nothing's broken yet. I don't think I'm a huge fan of this one, but it's very interesting. I would say that it's like, hang on. It's almost like a musky kind of smell. It doesn't really smell like a specific type of wood or anything, but if you like the musky kind of scent, I think it's a pretty good one. Ooh, balance. All right, this is what we're looking at. It's getting so full. And then obviously all my little boxes up here. It's fine. Anyhow, yeah, that is where we're at for the advent calendar. Okay, everybody, thank you so much for watching this video as it got pieced together and delayed and everything like that. I really hope that you enjoyed. If you did, don't forget to give it a thumbs up and then subscribe, then hit the bell down below so you can get notifications for when more videos come out, because hopefully I'll be getting this edited and we'll just get back into the swing of things.
Love, Genevieve.